Hi friends, welcome to Whoop with Jen. Here we are in week 3 of us being self-quarantined during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. And I I know that that's probably a topic that people are going to really end up getting sick of hearing about. So I'm going to split up today's podcast with another one of my stories, and as of being, a parent of a special needs kid, and then just share a little bit about what the challenges are that I'm experiencing right now that schools are officially closed in Arizona for the rest of the school year, and what I'm doing to cope and how to support my family and my daughter and myself. So there's nothing better than a good poop story, right? And I think I've dropped some before that were poop stories. And uh, so we were visiting Greg's family in Seattle, and we grew up on Mercer Island, and the island is just a beautiful place to grow up. And they built some high-rise condominiums in downtown, and we were just trying to kill time. And so we decided that we would go to an open house, because this was before I got my real estate license, and I love going in to see places and things, and we were just really curious about what these swanky condos looked like. And of course you have to register and give them your driver's license. They just don't show them to anyone. And the kids are 3 years apart. And I want to say Elle was probably like a first grader, which means that Jack would have been a fourth grader. And she was recently potty trained. It took us a really long time to potty train her. And it was going to kindergarten and first grade that kind of allowed her to learn from other kids and their successes with toileting. So we get into this beautiful condo, and she does the butt grab. There's just no mistaking the butt grab that she has to poop. And so we are like, excuse us, but can we use the restroom in this condo, which is kind of like embarrassing to have to do. And the agent just sort of kind of looked at us like, really? She can't hold it until we get downstairs and you use like the general bathroom? And I'm like, well, what's the big deal? And she just was looking at us like we were just, the scummiest people. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, toileting is really tough for her, and she's not very well potty trained. Like, if she has to poo, she's going to poo now. And there was absolutely zero toilet paper in this condominium. So this agent goes, we're on like an 8th floor. And so she has to walk all the way down a very long hall to get in the elevator, ride it down to the sales office in search of toilet paper. And so needless to say, Elle gets done conducting her business and decides that she isn't going to wait for toilet paper. She didn't want to just sit there on the toilet and wait for toilet paper. And I'm searching through my purse, like for Kleenex or tissues or something. And before I know it, she has pulled up her pants and she is done. And I have no idea what is in her underwear. And then Greg and I were like, well, where's Jack? Okay, like now we're embarrassed because this lady's going to come back with toilet paper that we didn't use. And we are searching through this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo for Jack. And lo and behold, I round to the corner to go to the other bathroom that was in the bedroom. And there he is, dropped trowel, pants around his ankles, and he's pooping. And it's just one of those parent slap your forehead moments where you're like, really? Both of you decided you had to poo right now when we're seeing a condo that we're never going to buy, and we're inconveniencing this lady to get toilet paper that neither of you are using. And when she came up, she's like seeing that Ella's walking around, and she's like, oh, I guess she didn't need it anyway. And we're like, oh yeah, but our son does. And it's just one of those proud parenting moments where we couldn't wait to get out of there. And because I am in real estate, there is this rule of thumb that if you have a child and you're taking them to go look at houses, they will have to go to the bathroom. And a lot of houses are vacant and don't have toilet paper. So I do carry toilet paper in the trunk of my car. And when we were flipping houses a couple years ago, Elle would come with me when I'd be going to preview the house to determine if I wanted to buy it. And if she pooped in it, we bought it. That was our joke, and our rule of thumb was, hey, if the kid takes a dump or a crap in the house, you might as well own it. So in light of where we are in this whole coronavirus scare and the extreme shortage of toilet paper, which we were luckily able to stock up on yesterday, I just hope that you can relate in some way and laugh a little bit about how we felt the day we went to go see a condo in Seattle, Washington. So they announced that school will be closed for the rest of the year, and Elle is just devastated. She is so unhappy that she's not at school with her friends. And at first she took it so personally, as though I was punishing her and she was the only one. And since then, Zoom, which has been an amazing platform, they've been hosting remote play dates with her classmates. So we had 2 sessions with her classmates last week, and it was great because on the first one, her teacher surprised them by joining, and he's been on paternity leave with his newborn. So they were just lost their minds. And then on Friday, their speech therapist joined. And I just want to say that the amount of effort these educators and therapists are putting in to support these kids, even though they won't be graded, I mean, it might not count. They might grade the work just to give them feedback, but to work so hard to entertain these kids and keep their spirits up. And we started school online yesterday, and we'll have 3 classes a week. One will be a math game class, one will be a regular class, one will be a cooking class, and they are being given homework and assignments. And in addition to school, now all of Elle's therapies that I get through the state are all going to be virtual as well. So this is a big deal because, first of all, I'm happy that we can do it because it keeps people employed, and that's definitely something that we need to focus on. But I am the one that has to accommodate her during these sessions because today was OT and she's learning how to tie shoelaces, and it's very difficult to teach someone how to do that over a computer screen and redirecting. And so what has dawned on me is this is my new normal, where I will have 3 hours of virtual class with her teachers. They will also, her OT and speech therapists are also doing virtual sessions. Then we've got the social Zooms. So just with school, I think I'm looking at 6 or 7 hours a week of that, plus the time that we're going to spend on homework. And they are expecting her to do her community-based instruction via chores around the house, all which require my oversight and supervision. She had 2 hours of applied behavioral analysis therapy, which is ABA, on Friday, and it was all I could do not to go crack open a bottle of wine. So she gets a lot of services through the state. So in addition to the 6 or 7 hours of online time, she gets 2 hours of speech, an hour of PT, an hour of OT, and 4 hours of ABA therapy. And so my life is really going to be so different, and doing the homework. And I've just let everyone know, I said, I appreciate all the effort that you're putting in to keep it as normal as possible and keep them going on some sort of curriculum, but it's hell for me. And I hope that, I don't think I'm alone. And I'm just grateful that I'm in between consulting gigs right now. So I'm not having to be productive for work or have that stress. I'm not doing any real estate, obviously. No one wants to go into anyone's houses. And so the timing for me is what I have to focus on, is that if there were ever going to be a time for her to require so much of my support and my energy, then this is it, because I have the time. And I'm not thrilled. I didn't go to school to become an educator or a therapist, and I'm sure as hell not getting paid for this. And so it's like, I didn't sign up to be a mom of a special needs kid. And now I have to do all of the supports for her. and keep myself sane at the same time and feel valuable. And that's what I'm really struggling with is I feel like a loser. I feel like, I mean, everything about how I spend my time is geared to her, which I will do. But for us parents out there, and I can't even imagine how hard it must be for parents that have to actually physically go into work or have lost their jobs. And everyone has their own scenario and their own shit that they're dealing with right now. So the most important thing that I can do is to connect with people I don't know, with my neighbors, with friends I haven't talked to in a long time, with clients I haven't talked to in a long time. I've decided that since so much of my Monday through Friday work week, the unpaid, uneducated teacher and therapist job, that I actually might add to my freaking LinkedIn profile. I mean, I might as well get credit for it, right? But I spent this Saturday, because now I've realized, okay, now my weekends are actually like when I can get things done for me and I can work on my business, because I still need to cultivate and continue those relationships, because it will change and it will be temporary and it will come back around. So I need to be prepared and ready for that. And so I kind of hemmed and hawed, like, should I text people? Should I email them? Because I'm getting inundated with emails right now. From banks and credit card companies, and anyone I've ever done business with is trying to tell me what their COVID-19 strategy and attack is. And I frankly don't care, because I'm not leaving the house. But I decided to go ahead and email all my clients and people I hadn't talked to in a long time and just check in. I have some clients who are very vulnerable physically and have weak immune systems, and I wanted to see how they were doing. And the response that I have been getting has been unbelievable. Everyone was so grateful and thanked me in very heartfelt ways for reaching out. And I just said, I am here for you throughout this process. I have some clients that live alone, and maybe they don't have family, or maybe they're not really good with technology. So how can I help them and help them feel like they're still part of the community and we're all in this together and we're connected? And that is the thing that I have to focus on to get me through this, is having relationships and making them deeper. And even though we're distanced, there's still emotion. And so last Friday, I had my very first happy hour with my neighbors, and it was hysterical, all women. And yes, we're drinking. And I think we had 7 or 8 of us participate. And if they had a spouse or a boyfriend or someone nearby, I guess the guys were in absolute hysterics over our antics and the things that we talked about. And we were online for over 2 hours. I could not believe it. And just to have that ability to laugh and to be silly, and we were looking at what was going on in the background, and it was like if the guys were going to jump in and say hi, and it was just really wonderful. And I did another I wouldn't call it happy hour, but I had drinks with some of my sorority sisters last night, and I hadn't seen some of them in a really long time. And we've all got kids that are college age or graduating from high school. Some are professors. One is a banker, and she's busy as hell because she's tending to all these, financial requests that the clients are coming up with, whether it's to refinance or whatnot. And we all have something different going on right now, but it was so great to chat and share and just continue to maintain that friendship, because they are the people that I can reach out to and have the social distancing experience and not annoy my husband. So I hope that everyone is taking advantage of a time to grow. We've been talking about that a lot. This is a time to grow, and it is scary, but I can't be scared of something. I have to initiate things that I can control. And that's one of the healthiest things to do. I've talked about my anxiety and panic attacks. It's that lack of control and the fear of not having it. And so control the things that you can. I controlled that I put on this awesome t-shirt today. I didn't have to dress up, and I controlled that I was going to record this podcast today because now I'm doing video, and I showered and washed my hair. So I'm here for anyone who wants to listen or do breathing exercises or just maybe to entertain you. I'm not sure I'm going to record our next happy hour because there might be big shit that goes down on that, but if anything, it gives us something to laugh about. And I think that's the most important thing right now, is that we are kind, we smile, and we laugh. So whoop whoop to you all out there. I hope everyone's surviving the best that they can. And I'm at whoopwithjen@gmail.com if you ever want to reach out. Take care. Bye.